So we put a poll out earlier today that a handful of you guys saw it and commented. Thank you so much. The comments were interesting. A lot of common trends though. We'll get into that. But the question was, what is success to you as a streamer? What does it mean to say that you're a successful streamer, right? That's a pretty open-ended question. That's hard to answer. Like, I thought about it for a long time. And I forget how it came up. This came up like a week ago, right? Like I texted you. And I was like, we need to do a whole show on this. Because it came up. I don't remember how. And I was like, it stopped me in my tracks. Like I didn't know how to answer it off the top of my head.
Oh, it was from Out of Bounds when we had Demetrius Johnson.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, that was like a week ago. Over a week ago. Sunday? Was it this past Sunday?
Yeah.
God, it feels like it's like a month ago. I didn't understand. Like somebody put out a tweet the other day. It's like, I don't know how like Monday is June. It was literally like March, like 2 hours ago. Like I don't. It's just weird. Like this May is like flown by. It's just disappeared. It's good though. We need things to speed up around the world right now. So yeah, so I've had a hard time trying to answer this question. Like I said, some really good responses on Twitter. We're hoping the chat has some good responses today, good ideas on how they define success as a content creator in general. Like that can mean a ton of different things to a lot of different people. Like it's not an easy, and it changes. It's definitely not like cut and dry. Like this is it. You do this, you made it. No, it's gonna change. I feel daily, right? I feel as soon as you change anything about what you do, I feel like your marker, your milestone changes, and every time you hit one, another one opens up. Like it's always moving.
It's a revolving door. It really is. It's different for everybody. Not everybody's like set of goals is going to be the same. Everybody's got a different outlook on it. Everybody's got a different plan. Everybody's got a different approach on how they want to get to where they want to go streaming. There's too many things to list. There is no definitive answer for it. There is no way to clearly define what success is. You have a pretty generalized like list for, like if you look at, like the top dogs on any content creating platform, like you could look, a lot of people look to those guys and like, that's successful. That's what I want to do.
Right.
But when you first start, that could be your end goal, but where do you start? Like, how do you know you're on your correct path to get there? Like, what does it look like for you? What does it mean? Like, when you first started, maybe it is just to get affiliate, to just, have a few people that want to hang out and play games with you, is it to make, a ton of money to just play games? It's different for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of us start out with the same, so I don't know. I feel like most people, your end goal, right, is to be Tim the Tatman, right? To be Lupo, to be Courage, to be Ninja, to be any of these guys, right? That's the end goal. The end, I don't even say goal, I'm gonna say dream, right? Your dream is you just log on one day and you've got 3,000 tier 3 subs, you know what I mean? And things are just rolling, and this is it. This is your life. This is your lifestyle. This is it. You get on, you stream for 8 hours a day, and that's it, right? You're a full-time content creator. I feel like that's the dream for people. It's not everybody's dream, 100%. It's not everybody's goal. But I mean, that's a long way down the road. I feel like, and I feel like you're successful way before that point, right? Like you hit that and you are at the pinnacle. You're at the top of the mountain. But you can be successful, I feel like, way, way, way before that. But so for me, like from the beginning, my first like success, right, was obviously reaching affiliate. And when I came onto Twitch, they had changed some things and it was relatively quick, easier to make affiliate. So that was a kind of a kind process. But then for me, it wasn't even partner, right? That wasn't even on my radar. I thought that seemed impossible for a while. So I think my first marker was like 1,000 followers, right? I think 1,000 was my first. Like I was like, if I hit 1,000 followers, like we're well on our way, right? We've made it. We're successful at that point.
Right to the top.
Yeah. What about you? Like, what was your first marker that you felt like you were successful at what you were doing that made you want to keep going? Because I feel like if you don't hit some of these markers, you want to stop, right? You want to quit. because you're not hitting like streaming life in general. To me, it's like an RPG, right? You're always leveling up. You're always doing something new. You're trying to get that next level. Like what was your first level?
So I mean, when I first got into streaming, obviously you look at guys like Dr. Disrespect, those guys at the top, and you're like, that's what I want to be. But you got to know going into it. You got to be level-headed. You got to be smart about it. That it's not going to happen overnight. It's something that takes years to build and a little bit of luck. But my first goal when I got into streaming is to make enough money to support this dream. Enough to make upgrades necessary to put out a quality content. Buy the games that come out that people want to watch. Enough to where I can make money to reinvest back into this and continue the momentum. It was that was my first goal, is just to make enough money to make the upgrades necessary to put out quality content.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that 100%. Like I think the underlying, I want to say like metric or flow to how I think a lot of today's going to go for me anyway. So my barometer on if I'm moving towards being successful, like we're both partners, I still don't feel like I'm a successful streamer, right? I'm still a small streamer, right? For me, I'm a small streamer until I'm at concurrently, like I feel like 800 every stream, no matter what I'm doing, is to that point until I'm successful or no longer consider myself a small streamer. If I can literally bounce from game to game to game in one stream and maintain over 800, then I would feel that I'm a successful, on my way to being a full-time streamer. I know people that are full-time streamers that don't reach that benchmark. That's not what they needed though. But for me to move on from what I currently have, I feel like 800 concurrent would be the goal. And I'm nowhere near that, right? And I've taken a step back actually on the way to that goal. But for me, it's all growth, right? Every day is growth. That's what my barometer on if we're on the way to being successful is growth.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we'll probably always touch base on and whatnot, is that and something we already touched base on already in this episode is just that that goal line will continue to adjust. So like Kay just said, he's taking a step backwards just because the game that he plays, it's in a slow season. He relies on content to put out good product, and when there's nothing coming out, it's hard for him to hit that go live button. We were just talking about that, and it's the same for me. We kind of do the same thing when it comes to Madden, but there's other games that we can play, but we know if we play those games, it almost takes us a step backwards, and that's okay. It's something that you kind of have to adjust and do with the ebbs and flows when it comes to streaming. We rely heavily off content for this game, and when there's no content, it hurts. It does, and that's one of our goals now moving forward to be successful is to always have that concurrent viewership no matter what we do. That's probably our next goal. That's my next goal, and I know Kay's talked about it as well.
Right.
It's being able to hit that go live and not have to worry about who's going to show up per se. You still got a good band of followers that are going to watch you do whatever. Right now we are part of a community, which Kay talked about last week, and we don't necessarily have our own community, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I still feel that way 100%. So like my next marker, my next goal, where I will consider myself on my way to being fully successful, is 100 viewers, no matter what I play, right? If I'm playing Animal Crossing or Apex or Sea of Thieves or Madden, if that benchmark is 100, to me that feels like I've made it, right? Like that's my, like, I don't know, I just maybe not even 100. Yeah, no, I think 100 would be like the next marker for me, because that's tough to do. And like I said, right now, like we're both in a mindset we're trying to branch out, right, and test the waters in other games, and not just games but communities too, right? I've gotten to know other people in Apex. I played with another streamer today for an hour and a half on stream, got to know him a little bit better. I've got to know some of the people in the Sea of Thieves community. That seems like a fun community to go into. But so that's my mindset, right? It's not just stream this game and try to get new followers. It's no, how do I get to know the other people that are doing this, the people that are already in that sphere, and if it's someplace I want to be? Because here's the thing, if I look to go stream a new game and that community is super toxic, looking at you, Overwatch, I don't want to do that. Right? Like, I won't go play that game. I don't want to interact with people that I know are toxic. So for me, I want to be able to go out and grow into other communities, be part of other communities that are positive and fun to be around.
Yeah, it's there's there's so many factors that go into all of this. You know, the one thing that you guys have to look at when you first decide you want to start streaming is visualize it as a staircase. You know, the top of the stairs is where you want to be. What steps does it take to get you there? You know, it could be miscellaneous things, you know, starting out, just for example, if you're starting streaming, you know, having a clean overlay, you know, getting your branding down, you know, what does your logo look like? What's your name look like? Do you want to have a persona on stream? You know, what game are you going to play? There's a lot of steps that go into it to reach the top. So when you guys are in a rut or you guys are looking to start streaming, visualize that. Write it down if you have to. Like, all right, here's the top. You know, this is what I want to do. That's my goal. What is it going to take to get me there? And then start taking one step at a time. You're not going to get to the top by skipping multiple steps. It doesn't work that way. Unless you're lucky or a super celebrity, it just doesn't happen. It's 99% of us have to grind, have to work hard, have to do whatever it takes to get to the top. It's a long process. It is a marathon.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, I can't think of anybody who made it big off of a Tim the Tatman raid. Right? I know people who have gotten multiple of them. Like, we know people that have gotten 4 or 5 raids from Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Still at a dozen viewers. Right? Like, that doesn't change you. The only person that I know or can recall that got like one big moment break was Courage. Right? Courage got the Mr. Beast popped in and donated him like 20 grand if he would win the game, and he won. And that kind of propelled him. But that you're talking about a YouTuber that gets millions of views on every video, so millions of people saw Courage go nuts, and that kind of flocked in. So it's a little very different than a 20,000 person Tim the Tatman raid. It's a complete different animal. But while you're going through these stepping stones on your way to being successful, however you define it, don't be, I don't want people to get discouraged when you don't see like you were saying, that immediate growth, right? Like, I know I did for a long time stream to Nightbot, Commander Root, my brother, and whoever else I was playing with that day. I mean, that was it. Like, it would pop in like that 4 viewers, and that was it. And would panic if it ever got to double digits. Like, holy shit, people are watching me. What do I do? So, but like, don't panic on that. Just continue to go out. You know, continue to pursue in your community. Pay attention to your quality. I know we talked about this a lot, especially on our YouTube videos. Watch your VODs. Make sure that your audio is good. Make sure your video looks good. Make sure that other people's audio, if you're playing with them, sounds good. Bottom line, make sure it's a stream that you yourself could sit in and watch for 2 hours, right? Especially in the audio sound. I've gone through and watched my own VODs before and just shook my head, right? And it wasn't even mine, right? Like, when I started, it wasn't even mine. I feel like my audio was okay, but I listened to the other people. I was playing like Xbox Party Chat at the time. Like, these guys sound terrible. Like, I can't play with so-and-so on stream because he's got a fan in the background. His mic's real choppy. It sounds weird. I couldn't control it right. So like, sometimes you have to make those decisions. If you want your content at this quality standard and somebody else doesn't meet that, sometimes you might not be able to play with that person on stream. Yeah,
that's something, it's just off topic there a little bit, is something that has affected who I play with on stream, because I take such pride in my quality. If I'm playing with somebody who, you know, has so much going on in the background and it's incredibly, you know, annoying or just gets you sidetracked so much, I tend not to play with that person, to be honest, you know, and I'll have a sidebar conversation with them later, be like, look, fix your shit, man.
Yeah. It's tough.
So there's so much that goes into it. Like I said, we'll circle, you guys will hear us circle back so much on quality. So yeah, before I get sidetracked, I just want to kind of go over some of these Twitter responses. You know, you have Uncle Online, good dude, great streamer, doing a lot of Red Dead RP right now. He's a good dude. Uncle Online is his name. He starts off by saying 3,000 concurrent tier 3 subs per month. Setting that bar high. I know he's joking. He said, honestly, the ability to play whatever the hell I want and have a community that will interact. I'd be happy with an active chat regardless of viewer average. What are your thoughts on that, Kay?
I think it's spot on. I think I feel the same way. I think I feel 100% the same way. So like we talked about before, I feel part of a community. I have my own very, very small community. You know what I mean? And when I say small community, I feel like I have like less than 10 people that will watch me play whatever I play. And that's it. Other than that, the other 200 average viewers are only if I play a single game, and that's fine. I understand. I can, trust me, I can, with the nature of the game that I normally play with Madden, I understand. I get it. It is a year-long game that costs a lot of money. People only play that. I understand. Trust me. I'm not upset about it one bit. But for me, that success, I think my marker for success would be to be able to play whatever I want and have my own community come in and watch me do whatever I felt like doing that day, or whatever they wanted to be a part of that day. That 100%, I think is my marker. I think he's spot on with that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, we already touched base on it in this episode, saying that, you know, I just want to be able to just hit that go live button. No matter what I'm playing, I got people in there ready to chat it up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my main goal right now, is just be able to have that. You know, it's great when I load up Madden and chat just starts firing up. As soon as I go play anything else, dead.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is, you know, and I expect that. You know, I know what to expect when I go live if I'm not playing Madden, and that's what it is, you know, but I'm still trying to build a community or get involved in another community in another index. And it's going to take time. You know, it took time to get built up in Madden. It's going to take time to be built up in another index. So
yeah, and it's not just Madden, right? So every other partnered streamer, for the most part, unless they got partnered being a variety streamer, has followed that same path, right? And not just in Madden. I'm talking about any game. They notice a significant drop off in viewership. So keep that in mind as you're on your path to success, wherever you put that milestone. Your current milestone. When you change things, you're going to see a change in viewership too, and that's expected. It's a normal occurrence. Most people that watch, like, you go into Dead by Daylight, you will see a ton of viewers that only watch Dead by Daylight. That's it. They watch 15 different streamers in that index, and that's all. Right? Same thing with Apex. These guys only watch shooters. Some only watch BRs. You know, like all these different games. Some only watch horror games. That's it. Some only watch story-based games, whatever our newest game is. And there's other people that only watch Co-Carnage, that only watch Tim the Tatman. That all, you know what I mean? Like there's this wide variety of people. So just expect, when you're trying to change things for long-term growth, you will have those initial setbacks, right? So don't get discouraged by those one bit.
Exactly. Skirt Russell says, success is doing better today than you did yesterday. Never compare your own progress to the results others achieved. In any creative pursuit, there is no X amount of time equals X results. Some will never achieve their end goal, and some will surpass it quickly. That's spot on, you know, and that's something that, I'll be honest, I struggled with when I first started streaming. You know, there were some people that I saw that started streaming shortly after me or shortly before me, and they were having big success, and it bugged me. Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing that is not working? And that's where you kind of start to rack your brain with a lot of it is, okay, what am I doing wrong? You know, what am I doing right? What's working? What's not? And you go back and you start assessing what your streams are doing. What numbers showed better? What days showed better numbers? What days didn't? What game worked? What game got the chat involved more? And you start really kind of snowballing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's something you can't continue to dwell on. It is easy when you first start streaming, seeing, hey, these people are having a lot of success. Why am I not? And you get disgruntled, you get mad, you get upset for whatever reason. Maybe you start hating that streamer because of jealousy, you know?
Right.
It's something that you just have to learn to deal with. You can't look at what other people are doing. You can look to them for, you know, ideas per se, but you can't get mad at other people for having success. You know, you got to look at yourself. Are you a streamer you would want to watch? You know, is it something that people want to do? And a lot of people struggle with that in general. You know, people don't know when to quit. There's some people that just aren't meant to stream. They aren't, you know, it's a tough question to ask yourself. Is it worth it? Is it worth me to continue to grind and put all this time and effort in if I'm not going to see the results? You know, you just have to learn to walk away. And it's a hard conversation to have with yourself. I've had that with myself plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
There's been plenty of valleys in my streaming career where I'm like, am I good enough to keep doing this? Should I continue to move on? But that's when it comes to the whole peaks and valleys, because usually when that happens, right after that, for whatever reason, I have this this peak,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm on top of the world. I'm showing a lot of like growth and numbers look great, and you know, and then it kind of tapers off, and it's a continued rinse and repeat.
Yeah, that's a huge fact. Because I've had those same thoughts we talked about before. Every streamer has moments where they're like, I think I'm gonna quit. This isn't worth it. I'm not getting anywhere. And it usually takes a support system of other streamers and other gamers and, you know, people in discords and communities that you're in that go, no, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then it's hard for me to say more often than not, because I mean, it happened for you and I. I don't know that it happens for everybody, but things would take off again, right? And you'd reach all these goals and milestones that you had in mind. So bottom line, I just want people to know, like, the longer you weather the storm, the more likely you'll end up coming out of it on the other side, right? It's easy to turn around and go back the other way and go, nope, that's it, I'm done. Trust me, I was ready to turn it all off and be done completely. And now I'm like mind blown. I was like, what was I thinking? But back to that Twitter comment too, like, I think that's spot on too. Comparing yourself to other people can be so detrimental to your own psyche, to your own mental health, to your own view on everything. I said, even with those peaks and valleys, every new follower you get is growth, right? That's in the right, even if it's, say you stream for 4 hours one day and you only get 1 new follower, that's 1 more than you had before you started streaming, right? And Twitch sucks. Twitch sucks for growth, right? For discoverability, it is the worst platform you can be on, because you only get discovered if you're live, and if you're not live, people can't find you. There's other ways to get around that by doing some YouTube content or even your Twitter stuff. If you do, make sure that a lot of your stuff is directing back to your Twitch. Make sure your Facebook is directing back to your Twitch. Make sure your Instagram is directing back. Even if you don't have a lot of followers on there, directing all of that back to your Twitch is one way to outside growth, but it still sucks. It still sucks, because people need to find you somewhere else and then get them to click on a link, which sometimes is tough to do. So keep that in mind too, while you're trying to grow and be successful. You are trying to be successful on the most difficult platform to be successful on, right? Which is why a lot of us chose this platform, right? So you feel like if we can do it here, we've made it, right? You started in the major leagues, right? You didn't start in the minor leagues, you didn't start college ball, you didn't do it. You went right to the major leagues and said, nope, I'm going to do it here. If it doesn't work here, I'm not doing it at all, right? That's a ballsy move, and it's tough. So like, keep that in mind. Like, you are in the hardest league to be discovered and to grow on. So it's gonna take time. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a little bit of luck. It takes being creative, I think, more than luck, right? I feel like being creative can definitely outweigh luck when trying to reach your goals on this.
Yeah, well put. You actually do listen to me about the whole major leagues thing.
Yeah.
All right. We have Psych Stash. He was actually a new streamer. He just started streaming a week or so ago.
Okay.
Good dude. Kay and I've played Apex with him before. He says, I think the idea of success should grow with the streamer. As someone new to streaming, success to me is simply getting on a regular schedule and gaining a few followers. Once I have that down, success will change to something bigger, like rungs on a ladder, which goes back to the whole staircase thing. So yeah. He's brand new, so he understands, hey, this is my goals right now, is to get a consistent schedule and start growing that viewer base, or that follower base. You know, he's brand new. He's literally only been doing it for about 2 weeks, and he knows that this is the starting point. He understands that it's going to take some time. He's not going to just skip a bunch of steps to get to the top. He knows it's a short staircase, but he knows exactly what he wants to do, and that's okay. Your staircase could be a few steps, it could be 20 steps, whatever. He understands, hey, this is where I'm starting and this is what I need to do before I reassess.
Yeah. And this is so before I make my point, this is, guys, this is one side of this, right? So on this Twitter poll or Twitter response that we saw 2 different sides of this. We'll get to the other side after we get through these ones. These ones are more goal oriented, right? And I love that. I love that people have, you have to have your goals. You have to know what you want out of this, right? And some people don't want a lot. Some people want to just get on here and have fun, right? And that's it. But some people want to try this out as a career, eventually, right? Knowing that you can't just, this is not something you can just go, hey, I know how to do this, I'm just gonna go make money on it. You can't sustain yourself, you know what I mean? It's just not possible, right? You can't, it's not like opening a restaurant. You're like, this is what I do now for a living. No, you can't do that with content creating. You can't just start and go, now this is how I make money, because you might not. But having those baby steps and having realistic goals to achieve helps keep you in a positive mindset too. And that kind of goes back to not comparing yourself to other people, which is difficult to manage. But like, as long as you know what you're striving for, right? Getting a couple viewers, getting on that schedule, improving your stream quality, improving your setup, your aesthetics, your sound quality, all those different things. Like, those are your little goals. So as you're doing those, you feel more and more and more successful, and that keeps you growing. And like I said, any little growth is good growth. But that positive mindset, I know it sounds cheesy, I know it sounds dumb, but I think it's one of the biggest things that you can have is your attitude towards all of it, right? If you start getting really negative about it and really salty, people pick up on that quick, man. This camera that you look into and talk to people every day doesn't hide anything, right? If you're in a bad mood, people know, right? If you're unhappy with what you're doing, people know. So it's like, that's why I like the baby steps, the ladders on a rung, these, the steps that you're going up, is so important to help keep you feel like you're growing, because that's going to help you stay in a better mindset to put out better content.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's something, I mean, maybe a little tip you guys could try too for, you're stuck in a rut, or kind of give you more of a visual base, is I've seen actually a lot of people on Twitter will do like a pinned tweet, hey, these are my goals for 2020, and it's X amount of followers, X amount of subs, X amount of hours streamed, make X amount of videos to post on YouTube. And as the year goes on, we'll check them off, and
yeah,
that's something that you guys could possibly use. It's something that I use personally. Like, I'll use it on my phone. I don't typically post it on Twitter, but it kind of like puts you out there. You're showing everybody, hey, this is what I want to do. And if the people, there's people out there that care about you, maybe they want to help you achieve those goals, so they'll help you out. Retweets, likes, be there to support you, stuff like that. Kind of puts you, putting yourself out there, so people can see, hey, this guy has goals, and if they want to, they'll be more than willing to help you out. It helps out a lot. Yeah.
The only one that I don't like on that list is the ones that are outside of your control. That one, I don't know why. I've never done it, because I can't control how many new followers I get, how many subs I get. You know what I mean? Like, that one is a little bit, it's too variable for me to put on there. You can, by all means, if you know what I mean, if you see a trend and you think you can hit this year, then I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, for me personally, my own mindset, the way my brain works, I can't do that. But what I can do is put in-game goals, right? Like, we're going to kick off Madden 21 in about 8 weeks. My goal is 100 million coins in the game. It's something I can achieve in the next year of streaming, right? It'll all be on streaming. I can control putting out 3 YouTube videos a week. I can control streaming 4 days a week. I can control how many hours I stream. Those are things that I can control. So those are the ones that my goals will be set at for the year. And our year's a little bit different. My year anyway is a little bit different. Mine kind of revolves around the Madden year. Like, my year's going to start on August 25th, and that'll be my year, go from here. I follow EA's fiscal year more than the calendar. But it is a good idea. I think it's 100% a good idea to have, like, write down those goals, put them on your wall, put them above your monitor, put them on, put them on a sticky note and attach them to your monitor, so that, like, when you get down, right, and say you had a bad stream, right? I have bad streams all the time. You get on there and you're like, wow, like, 2 new followers, way to go. Like, what did I just waste 3 hours for? Then you're like, nope. Because then if you look down at that goal, I'm like, okay, my goal is X number of followers. Like, oh, I'm too closer. Right? Like, you're on your way. That was still worth your time. It wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't lost. So, and like, there's a backside of all of this too, that even if you don't get those new followers that day, you know how many times I've clicked on the same streamer 2 or 3 times before I follow them? Right? Maybe they're doing something that I didn't enjoy watching that day. Maybe their quality was off that day. Maybe they were having a bad day. And I click on them a few days later. I'm like, oh, okay, no, I like this guy. Let me go ahead and click on there. Or they're more interactive that day, or something different about it. And I go ahead and jump in. So don't feel like if you don't grab that one viewer that day or get that follow, get that sub, whatever that you've lost, you're still getting positive exposure in that index every single day. More people are seeing you. Sometimes just that name recognition, somebody be scrolling through the index and go, I've seen this guy's name before, let me see what he's like. Right? So anytime you're on, you're still like, you might not see the numerical results that day, but there's still growth going on in the background.
Absolutely. Good, solid perspective on that one. I think with the viewers and the subs and whatnot, I think we kind of disagree on that, but there is a lot of variables, but I think it helps kind of gauge like, hey, you know, you should know what to expect. If you're playing a certain game, you should know kind of how many followers you could expect, you know, like with Madden, I know I'm almost guaranteed, you know, at least 5 new followers every time I stream Madden. It's, you know, but if I play Call of Duty, there's been, you know, a week straight where I don't get a single new follower.
Right.
You know, it's because that game is super saturated. There's a shit ton of people playing that game, streaming it. So it is what it is. I get your side of it. I really do.
Yeah.
All right. So looking at like other perspectives as far as success, we have Retro Yimmy, who's actually in the chat. Brightening someone's day, whether it's something funny I said or did, if I can make someone happy and know they will come back, it makes me happy. We also have Mooshman saying, to me, success in streaming has always been the ability to brighten someone's day, even if it's one person. I don't need a large community and I don't need fame. I aim to improve someone's mood.
I love it. I love it. Like we talked about it before we started the show, that I loved that was a common trend in the responses that we got. That tells the people have their head in the right place, right? So they're out here creating content for the sole purpose for other people to enjoy it, right? And what a great milestone that you're successful, right? Because you're making other people happy. That's perfect. Because I feel like along with that, like, not everybody with that mindset obviously will end up with, you know, 30,000 concurrent viewers. Most people, period, don't end up with 30,000 concurrent viewers. I can count on like one hand how many people actually do that. You know what I mean? But that mindset, like we talked about, being positive and carrying yourself a certain way, like people talk all the time about the streaming for the right reasons, right? And I don't feel like doing it for monetary gain is the wrong reason to a degree, but the absolute right way to do anything in your life is to do it to make other people happy, right? To increase somebody else's life, to increase the value of somebody else's day is beyond anything else that you can attain monetarily.
Yeah, like we said, it depends. Like when you go into streaming, just kind of assess what it is you want to do. You know, there's people who want to have the fame. They just want to be famous, and that's their goal. It's okay. It's your stream. You do it how you want. There's people who do it to, you know, for additional income or be a full-time job, you know, provide for their family or whatever reason. It's okay too. And then you have the people that do it for fun, essentially. They just do it to make friends, you know. Could be people who, you know, don't have a lot of people to game with, and this is a good way to find people with, you know, like minded perspectives on a certain game or whatever. You know, with Twitch, there's so, not even just Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, all these platforms have thousands of streamers, and there is tons of content out there. If there's something that you're interested in, I can almost guarantee it that within reason, don't get weird, that there's somebody out there streaming it. You know, there's a game, you know, weird one-off games, you know, there's somebody out there probably streaming it. There's so many things out there. There's so many different avenues that you can go down when you start your path down streaming, is what we're trying to say. It's okay. You know, whatever you guys want to do, it's okay. Don't let people push you down if you focus on the numbers, or you focus on the money, or you focus on only making people happy. You know, there's going to be haters out there regardless of what you're trying to do. Just make sure you block that stuff out. You know, I've come across that kind of stuff. Kay's come across that kind of stuff. It is what it is. You know, don't let them have free rent inside your head, is what I'm trying to say. Just do you. Whatever it is you want to do, write the goals down, go after it. Don't let people get in your way.
Yeah, so I always told people that even if I didn't stream, I would still be sitting here playing games. maybe not as much, probably guaranteed not as much, because without any amount of monetary gain, usually your better half is like, stop playing games so much. So then you go, no wait, I get paid for it. They go, okay, well fine. So that helps, right? It helps. So that's part of the reason why I do is like, well, I get to do it now and make a little money on the side, and that gives me validation, a reason to do it. But I would play anyway. So like I've told people, like, I'm gonna play this game anyway. Streaming it just brings me back to like LAN parties and having, you know, a half dozen friends over and hooking up a couple of Xboxes and playing Halo all night, right? I get to play games with a ton of people every day. That to me, like, that brings me joy, right? And I know the people that are in there probably to some degree feel the same thing, and that's why they're in there watching, because that's why I watch other streamers, because I'm in there because I get to hang out with them while they're streaming, right? And it doesn't matter what they're doing on stream. Like, guys do stuff that I don't care one lick about all the time, and I will sit in there and watch and hang out with them and make fun of them and make jokes and this, and you know what I mean? Like, it's all about, like, we talk about, like, you know, people stream to make other people happy, and I love that because I have that same mindset. But end goal, I want to make 30,000 people concurrently happy, you know what I mean? So like, you can take that, so don't ever let anybody tell you, like, you know, oh, you'll never get big if you're only streaming as a hobby or you know, because it's fun, whatever. No, it can be. You can tell me that Tim the Tatman, Lupo, Courage, and Ninja don't have a blast playing every day together? 100% they do. I've watched them. They're loving what they're doing, right? They're making other people happy. They're just making a lot more people happy than I do at one, you know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. Yep. That's the difference, right? So all it is, like, what you're doing, if you don't enjoy this, if you're not happy when you do it, you feel like you're not making other people happy while you do it, like, that's when I feel you have to look in the mirror. But just know, like, I had a couple of long conversations with a friend of mine who is very popular across social medias, and she had a lot of self-doubt, and it was like, I kind of talk her down a little bit, like, look, there's thousands of people who love all the content you put out, right? But it's still, for some reason in her brain, she felt like it wasn't good enough, and you know, it didn't matter. So finally she's gotten to see, you know, how much people love the content and support her and this and that, and how much of an impact she has on other people's day. So that was like, don't forget that part, right? So if you're feeling down, you feel a little bit, I don't know, a little bit of a setback or whatever, or, you know, in your stream, no, there's still people out there that you are having a huge impact on their day. Like, I'll never forget I think this was early on when I was streaming, I had maybe 10 viewers average, right? Maybe 15. Someone had told me that I was their favorite streamer and they couldn't wait for me to stream every day. And that blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. I'm like, there are literally millions of other people streaming right now, but for some reason I have this impact on this person's day, right? So that like changed my whole mindset. And then I was like, okay, well, this is why we do this now, because some people look forward to it, right? For some people, I don't care if you stream to 5 people, one of those people, you might be the best part of their day. Doesn't matter how many people you have. So don't forget that part of it.
Well said. Well said. Well, Kay, do you want to keep going down this path? I mean, we have this extra bullet point, but I don't know if we should, because this is kind of like all surrounded by success. This next section we could probably turn into a whole nother episode.
Yeah, we could do that too, a whole different one. We can leave that for something else. Why don't we talk to the chat, guys? What do you guys got for us today?
Any questions? It doesn't have to necessarily be about success, but what do you guys want to pick our brains with?
What's your hardest part? Like, I want to know what people find the most difficult part about starting streaming, or for people who haven't started yet, like, what's the biggest hurdle that they're afraid of to start, or that's, you know, slowing them down from starting? How to talk to 0 viewers. Monkey, that's the one that's literally what we were just talking about doing a whole other show on. But I mean we could talk about it a little bit, because part of that goes with success, right? So you're going to start, no matter what your milestone is, you're going to start with 0 viewers. Yep. Right. Like, I even notice it now, like switching games, you know, sometimes there's not a lot of chatters in there, right? So even if you might have viewers in there, but if they're not chatting, it's going to feel the same as if you have 0 viewers anyway. the best piece of advice you can give is pretend. You don't have to pretend there's 100 people in there. The number doesn't matter, right? Pretend you're trying to make somebody laugh or entertained while you do it, right? So I stream, when I switch over to Apex, there's not a lot of chatters going on, and that's fine. But I try to pretend like I'm trying to make somebody else laugh. So, and I try to be like overly animated about things, right? So like if I was just playing and nobody else watching, I'd be like, there's a guy over there. Oh, he shot me, right? But if I'm streaming it, I'm yelling, and I have a foot pedal, so I'm not yelling into my teammates' ears the whole time, so they can't hear me when I'm doing this. So to them, none of this is happening, right? But I'm like, oh, we got 5 guys. Oh my God, we get a shot. And then I turn the corner. I'm like, oh, he's right there. Like you get louder. You make your voice a little bit more, a little bit more inflection to your voice. You become quite a bit more animated, because if somebody else jumps in, they go, well, this guy's off the wall, right? Like but those are the kind of streamers I like, right? So those are the ones that I kind of emulate. So pick the ones that you like and emulate what they do. Go watch one of your favorite streamers that plays the game that you want to play. See how they act, right? And I'm not saying become that person, but take some pieces away. Like if you realize, hey, I like this person because they do this, maybe try to incorporate some of that into your own thing with 0 viewers, because that might entice other people that also like that guy to come in and go, oh, I like this guy, he does this.
Yeah, great points. I would say exactly the same thing. The only thing the thing that I did when I first started streaming is I played with a group of people. I already had like a base of friends that I played with anyways. So I always made sure that I wasn't playing solo, because I struggled a ton playing by myself. I still struggle playing by myself with nobody to talk to. It's something that it worked out for me early on, is just playing with a group of people, because then you still have that early interaction. You're still talking crap. You're still having funny commentary, stuff like that can entice people who are new to the channel to kind of stick around. Like, hey, these guys are actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
These guys are enjoyable. There's a lot of action, stuff like that. But like what Kay said too, spot on, be animated. Don't just sit there and be like, hey guys, one shot. He's cracked.
right.
You guys seen that South Park episode, the dude fucking playing Warcraft.
Yeah.
Don't be like that, okay? Be animated, be upbeat, be energetic.
Right. Unless that's your brand. If that's your brand, own
that
it.
is your brand, then yeah. If that's your brand, own it.
Suit, sit there, put some Cheetos in your beard, and go for it, man. Like, have at it. If that's your brand, do it. It might take off.
Rockin' Out Loud says, if you could only pick one piece of equipment to start with, what would it be?
Oh, that's
Cam.
so tough. Think so?
It depends, Do you not have a mic? I feel like you have to have a mic. Most people have a headset that have a mic. I'm just taking that. Not a lot of people have a webcam. That's why I would go with webcam.
Yeah.
But obviously you need to be able to talk.
Right.
Talk to chat if they're popping in there. I feel like that's probably the most important. Just because if somebody comes in the chat, you can easily answer questions and whatnot. You don't necessarily have to have a cam. There's been successful streamers that don't have cams. It's far and few between, but it can be done.
Yeah. I have to go camera. If you have nothing, I would have to go camera. Because even like other cameras have like a built-in mic, you're gonna sound terrible, but it's like,
that's fair.
I feel like, because I know when I'm looking for a new person to find, I don't click on people that don't have a camera. Very rarely do I click on somebody who doesn't have a camera. I click on streams to see the streamer, right? The game is very much secondary, and I feel like that's that way for most viewers. The game is 100% secondary. Unless you're watching a pro gamer in a tournament or something, I want to go in and see that streamer, right? It's across Madden, it's across when I go watch people play Apex or Warzone or whatever, even the big guys. Like if I click Dr. Disrespect streaming right now, if I clicked on his stream and he didn't have a camera on, I would probably leave. Half of the enjoyment of watching that is watching his reaction to things, right? So I feel like a camera is super important. And right behind that though is at a minimum a USB microphone that you can get some kind of software with to kind of filter out some sounds a little bit, because audio is so important. I struggle watching people that only use a headset mic, because there's so much going on in the background, you know what I mean? Like if the clicking of their keyboard or controller, whatever they're playing, drives me bonkers. I can't take it. Like if I click on there and I'm like, all I can hear are key clicks, I'm like, I can't do it.
Clack.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm out. I can't do it. A little bit here and there, you know what I mean? I'm sure mine get picked up on the mic once in a while too. But if that's all I hear the whole time, I can't do it. So camera number one for me, very, very, very close second is a microphone. but the camera, so the camera doesn't have to be high quality either, right? You can rock a $50 webcam and get some decent results out of it. You know what I mean? Like, don't feel like when I say camera, I don't mean a $1,200 setup. Right? I mean a very base minimum, you know, webcam USB that you just plug in and go with. I mean, because even that, all right, so while we're on equipment real quick, filters are your friend, right? Not just on Snapchat, not just on Instagram. You can put filters on your cameras in OBS, right? Like, you guys have seen me do it before. I have, like, if you play a scary game, I go black and white. That's a filter, right? Right now, on me right now, that's not what I look like. There's filters. I mean, that's what I look like. But like, there's filters on there to make some of these colors in the back pop a little bit more, right? Like, these are all set up a specific way. My lights change hue a little bit to add a little bit of contrast to them. So there's things you can do even with a $50 webcam that would make a big difference.
Super bougie.
Yeah, I am.
What was the other one? How important it is rating post stream. I find out that you need to see who you are rating first. Yes. One thing that, you know, there's been plenty of times where I tried to raid somebody and I didn't do my homework.
Yeah.
And they either just went offline or they are ending stream or, you know, doing the one-off completely random. And they turn out to be a complete train wreck. I'll just use it politely.
Yeah.
Doing stuff like that, I would definitely double check, but I think it's definitely important as far as getting more recognition in the index. You know, if you're trying to network is huge. I think rating is definitely a huge plus. You know, I raid after every stream. You know, there's some days where I don't because nobody's on, but because I personally try to stay away from people I don't know, you know, for that reason. You know, I don't necessarily want to raid somebody and they're dropping F-bombs all over the place, or it's just a toxic community per se. So I do my homework, you know, I'll check somebody out beforehand, you know, kind of keep them on a list, but for the most part, yeah, I definitely think rating is important.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Midnight Hayabusa, we've all had that where you rate somebody and there's no response at all from them. Sometimes they don't have alerts set up. It is. You're like, hey, what the hell? I've even done it to some people in like the chats, like, hey, there was a raid, and the guy never picks up on it. I'm like, oh, whatever. They just missed it. Whatever. Again. It happens. So I've missed them before. Ryno's rated. When I first started streaming, Ryno rated me with like 35 people, right? I think I was streaming with like 3 people. I was playing PUBG. He rated me. I didn't have this set up. I had my Xbox headset on, right? So I didn't hear the computer. And it was probably a good, well, I don't know, 10 minutes went by, and I I'm like, oh shit, I feel terrible. And I felt awful that I completely missed the raid. Didn't acknowledge anything. So it happens. Sometimes it just happens. But I think it's super important. Like I said, it expands you in. Rating is selfish, right? Let's be honest. It's, as a streamer, rating is self-promotion. It's a non-frowned upon way to self-promote. 1000%, because most streamers you go into, they raid, they should give you a shout, even if they don't know who you are. They thank you for it. They talked a little bit. Now your name is all over their chat, especially if you can convince your chat to go ahead and throw some emotes in there. Some people don't like that, which is really weird. I think that's dumb. I don't know. Yeah, that's just dumb. But you know, I mean, so your emotes are out there, you know, usually your name's on there, especially if, like, I've seen people do this. I haven't done it yet, but I think we're going to. I did it for a little while. I would tell people, we're gonna go raid so-and-so, everybody type in Buffalo Stampede, right? And that was our thing. People would go in there and they would type that in the chat, so now my name is flowing through that chat. It's a super selfish thing to do, because you're invading somebody else's space. But it's for networking, not just for the viewers, but it's the other streamer as well, right? So whatever game I'm playing, if it's Madden, I mean, I'm fortunate enough to be well known enough in the Madden index where sometimes I like to raid new people all the time, you know, because that's how I got kind of found. You know what I mean? You get raids and you're like, oh my god, people, you know, see a new person. I always stay in the same index that I'm in. So if I'm playing Apex, I will raid another Apex streamer, unless I don't see any that I like, or somebody that I know is playing Madden. I'll go back and raid them. Or I know the viewers that are left are still Madden guys. But I always try to stay in the same index, and I try to find like content, right? So actually, the guy that I played Apex with today, I found him because I raided a random person, right? But check first, right? So if I don't know who I'm going to raid, I'll pull up the index on screen, let everybody see it, and we'll scroll through and we'll click on somebody. We'll watch for a minute, see his style, you know what I mean? See his vocabulary, see his intent, you know, see how his chat is, because we don't want to go into somewhere super toxic or something that doesn't match my brand or who I really want to be associated with. So, but I raided this guy, and now we've become, you know, we're friends on Discord. We jump in, we play some games offline, you know what I mean? So I've developed this new relationship with this other like streamer that I can now collaborate with, right? All because I clicked on his channel and we decided to raid him, right? So raiding can be super beneficial, and it's for him too. So now I can raid him again and go show more people to him. And it's a people don't frown upon as long as there's a mutual chance for growth to both parties, right? If you go raid Tim the Tap Man, he's not even gonna notice you. You know what I mean? Like I don't care on my biggest Madden day, right? I could have 2,000 people in there go, we're gonna raid Tim the Tap Man. He doesn't give a flying fuck that 2,000 Madden guys went over and watched him that day, right? Like, let's just be honest. It's a drop in the hat for somebody like that. So find somebody like you, right? If you have that power, like usually for you know, if we have a big Madden day, we try to go find somebody new or somebody that we know we're trying to get more exposure to. So just keep like those kind of things in mind. Your best result will be finding somebody similar to yourself, similar view count, similar, you know, average viewership, because that could potentially, look at it this way. If you have 5 viewers and this guy's 5 viewers and you mix, now you both could have 10 viewers, right? In a perfect world, that's what you're hoping for, right? Is you both trade and you end up now both have 10 viewers, right? So that's the kind of your intent on it. So I try to stay kind of similar to what I am.
Okay. I think that's it.
No other questions today?
No
questions. What do you
think is the best way to network with other streamers outside of chatting in their stream?
Oh boy.
Back in the day, it was just using Twitter, essentially. Like, I mean, it's not quite how it is now. Is Twitter and then finding a streamer Discord, right? Essentially, you know, and then, you know, networking with people there. You know, there was back in the day, there was support small streamers. You know, it was a huge community. The owner was a complete dipshit and completely just did it for selfish reasons, which is why a lot of those kind of died off. But that is where I met a lot of people over 3 years ago that I'm still streamer friends with today. Met them, you know, in person, and we still talk to this day, and we're still gaming buddies essentially and whatnot. So, you know, you can find people that way. I think Discords are still a decent route to go. There's plenty of options out there. Just be smart. Don't self-advertise in people's streams. It's usually huge taboo. You know, sometimes like Kay, for example, does this selfless. What is it? I can't even.
Softcore self-promotion.
Softcore self-promotion. That's what it was. Where if you were a streamer, you get to spam your emotes in the chat just so he can see like, hey, who's a streamer in here? You know, it's a really cool idea. I actually really enjoy that. But one of the things that pisses me off the most, and it's so taboo, and I see it all the time. I still see it to this day where somebody will come in and like, hey, go watch me over here and drop the link. Don't do that shit. It's such a terrible way to get known. It is super scummy. Follow for follow doesn't work, stuff like that. But I think networking is definitely one of the biggest steps as far as trying to grow as a streamer. So getting to know somebody who is a streamer by watching them, you know, and subtly bring it up type deal. Don't go in there and be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go stream now and then leave. You know, stuff like that is it irks people.
Yeah.
Unless you know, like everybody knows Kay streams. It's something like that. I guess it's fine. But when it's somebody you don't really know, don't do that. You know, if you have an established relationship with somebody, I think if you have that conversation with them, you know, it can work. But just getting to know people, watching their streams, getting into Discord. Most streamers have a community Discord. Join it, see what it's about, hang out with them. You know, schedule play dates essentially and whatnot. You know, there's. To this day, I kind of got away from it. You know, I had my group of people, and that's who I stuck with. I wasn't really expanding out of it until recently. We're like, you know what? I kind of want to, you know, get some fresh blood in here, you know, and who else is out there? Who else can I network with? You know, I'm trying to get back to my roots essentially. So Discord is a huge way to do it. Twitter, you know, those are my top two.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, trying to just meet new people, joining new discords. It's so for me, like I'll pop in their chat and say hi, and talk to them a little bit, and then join their discord if I like them, see their community, and then honestly to try to play with them, try to play a game with them without ever telling them I'm a streamer. Right? I don't like somebody had come, I think I was in Gamepad's chat today, and Nokshavi was confused if it was really me because I turned my check mark off. I didn't want anybody to know that I was partnered. I didn't want anybody to know I was a streamer because I was going around to new channels and seeing people and interacting with people. So I just wanted to be, a viewer, right? And go meet this person and see their channel and see their content and then play a game with them. Especially smaller, you're more likely to get into a game. If you go into somebody's channel and they have 400 or 500 viewers, you're not going to play with them, right? Let's just be eventually, sure, there'll be days, right? A lot of people, they'll have sub play days or whatever and things like that. Community days they'll have. If you go into somebody's channel and they have 10-15 viewers, I know, I was always down to play with people. Maybe not that first day, right? So don't expect to just jump in hey, want to play a game, and them to say yeah, sure. Some will, but they need to the time, they need to kind of vet you, so you're not going to start throwing out some banned comments on stream, you know what I mean? So just keep, your best bet is honestly just to go, if you're in their channel, it's because you like their content and you like the game that they're playing. Maybe try to play a game with them offline is probably the safest bet. Get to know these people a little bit, get to know them in Discord. That's going to be, get to know them on Twitter too. Interact with other people on Twitter. Twitter is huge for other gamers, right? There's people that I follow now and interact with on a daily basis that I didn't find them on Twitch. I found them on Twitter through mutuals. Right? Somebody retweeted something and said, oh, that's funny. So I like their stuff. I followed them on Twitter. And then I saw they're going live tweet and said, oh, let me go check it out. And people that I've gotten to know really well over the years was more from other socials, not just from Twitch. So if you're looking to expand your horizons, don't negate your other socials.
I mean, that's a whole nother topic we'll get into, is the whole social media side of it, but
yeah.
Yeah, wager. I get that all the time. You get people that pop in the chat, wager, can I join? Stuff like that. You literally been in here for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I get that. Like people come in hey, want to wager? I'm like, bro, you never see me. I've been on the auction house for 25 minutes. What do you mean you want wager? What the
do you know what happens here?
Yeah, I'm like, I always thought it was my first thing. I'm like, you've obviously never been here before. It's funny.
Yeah, Ghost Hunter squads head to head. Yeah, it's all the time. It's like that with any game. It's not just Madden.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun though. Sometimes I'll roll a dice. I'm like, yeah, F it, let's play a game. I'm gonna mute Discord though. Nobody's gonna hear you, right? Chat's not gonna hear Discord during that game. Only I'm gonna hear it, and that's gonna be and I'm not gonna tell that person they can't be heard on stream.
CYA, cover your ass.
Yeah. If you're gonna take the risk and play with somebody new, by all means go for it, right? You can meet some cool people doing that. Mute Discord. mute if you're playing on Xbox, whatever, mute that channel that's coming into your stream, right? Do not let that come through. Because I've had people jump in. I've made the mistake before playing games on Xbox in an open party, and people would find me because the gamer tag's right there on Twitch. They can find it, and they would join the party and then just start saying certain words. I'm like, God, mother effer, man. You know what I mean?
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not getting my channel banned because somebody wants to be an asshat. And that's all they want. They want their 10 seconds of clout. You know what I mean? Look what I did. I'm like, okay, cool. Go tell your 12-year-old friends. You know what I mean? It's just dumb. You know, and people are shitty. People are stupid. It's the internet. Internet warriors are even worse when you're in front of a handful of people.
OBS or Streamlab OBS. I think it depends on user. I've had no issue with any of them. Some people have issues with slobs, but no issue with OBS, and vice versa. It's weird. When it comes down to that, just kind of play around with it, see what works best for you. They're free, so you have OBS Live, you have OBS Streamlabs OBS, and then you have just OBS Studio. So there's 3 options. I personally use slobs, but
yeah, see, I couldn't. For some reason, when I tried to use slobs, it didn't interface properly with the capture card that I had. I had a Razer Ripsaw. I didn't have an Elgato, and it wouldn't pick up the game audio. So if I was playing anything other than Madden, doesn't matter, but I was playing anything else on Xbox, no game audio would come through, and it drove me nuts. So I couldn't use it. So I used OBS Studio for a long time until Stream Elements came out with their own. And at the time, I was using Streamlabs for some things and Stream Elements for others. And once Stream Elements came out with their own OBS, I converted everything over strictly to Stream Elements. Now I love Stream Elements. I use the Stream Elements OBS, and I think it's fantastic. It's the two are almost identical, right? They mirror the programs off of each other the same way. Twitch even has their own now too. Ryno and I were talking about that earlier. We might dive into that, see what it's like later on this week, and then look for, it's funny that came up because we've just talked about doing some tutorial videos sometime in the next week or two on how we set up our OBS for different scenes and what's added into each section. Like this scene you're looking at right now, I made this in a few minutes. It has 15 layers to it. What you see on screen right now has 15 layers to it, and I did it about, not to brag, but about 8 minutes. You know what I mean?
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal, but 8 minutes, I got all these layers set up and everything looks and sounds all right. There's a lot that goes into it, and some things you might miss, and there's different websites you're going to pull things into and this and that. So just, so we're going to do a video on how we set up OBS in the near future. And it'll be the same no matter which one you like, right? So whichever program, whichever website you use more for your alerts and overlays and stuff, if you use Streamlabs, go with the Streamlabs one. They have a lot of great stuff over on Streamlabs. If you prefer Stream Elements, go with the Stream Elements side of it. Just pick one and go with it. And the best part is you can change whatever you want. You're not tied in. There's no contract to sign. You can switch whenever you want. So try one out. If you don't like it, try the other one. If you don't like that one as much, go back to the other one.
Jimmy throwing shade at you, Kay. There's 7 of them face filters for Kay.
No, what do I even have? Hold on, let me see. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me see what I have. Where's my camera here?
Cue elevator music.
Can't even find it. Here's my camera. What filters do I have on this? Let's see. Do I have any even on here? I'm sure I do.
The only thing I have is a color correction filter. That's the only.
It's not
filter
even on. It's blacked out right now. It's not even on. Right here's the color filter that I had. I didn't like it. See how red I got? I didn't like it. I couldn't get it right. No color filter. This is au naturel, mofos. Take that, nerds.
You're seeing Kay in his natural.
This is it
lighting.
too. No makeup, no nothing. This is me.
He wants a makeup artist for us.
I do want to make it bars. It'd be so much better.
All right, chat. That is going to do it for us this week for episode 2. We appreciate you all as always. A lot of fun doing this. I look forward to it every week. Let us know, on Twitter. Hit us up on the OGN Network page, our personal Twitter pages. Hit us up and stream. What do you guys want to see from us? What do you guys want to see videos on? What talking points, etc. We do this for you guys. So literally anything you throw at us, we'll figure out a way to talk about it for an hour. So appreciate you all. Okay, send us away, bud.
Yeah, 100%. Whatever you guys looking for, whatever you're stuck on, right? If you guys find something that for some reason you just cannot figure out, or like you're struggling with one part of it and you're not really sure which way to go, reach out 100%. We do our best. My DMs are filled with questions like that all the time anyway. So it's, it's a struggle. We try to help out as much as we can. We are going to go find, this is an outside person to raid today. This is not a common raid occurrence, especially for OG channel. This is outside of even the Madden index. I can't do it here. Damn it, Ryno.
What do I need to do?
I can't raid.
I know. Tell me who I'm.
Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I can do it from here. There it goes. There it goes. Guys, speaking of content creators to talk with, the guy that we're going to go raid, Mr. Inspector Jeff. Fantastic streamer.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, he's a great dude. A friend of Ryno and I's. Met him in Ryno's Discord years ago now. Oh my God, really? Years ago. Got to hang out at TwitchCon together, have a blast. He actually lives a couple hours down the road and we had to go to San Diego to meet up. It's so stupid. But good dude, go check him out. Take a look at his style of broadcasting. Take a look at his overlays, his sound effects, his volumes, his microphone setup, his camera layout, how he interacts with people. Like while you're as a streamer, when you go see someone new, these are the things to take a look at to see, ooh, I like what this guy does here, right? So let's go over, say hi to Inspector Jeff. We'll see you guys again for this show next Friday, but again on Sunday for Out of Bounds.
Is it actually doing it? I'm not seeing a...
Maybe? Oh, I don't know. Keep an eye on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. We'll let you know when the next show is. This one definitely on next week, Friday, 8 o'clock. Everything else, we'll find out. Appreciate you guys. Love all the subs and follows. You guys are amazing. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye bye.